Barnaby was a bear, an old bear, faded from honey gold to a soft, dusty brown, his fur worn thin from years of gentle hugs and countless adventures. Once he had been the pride of the nursery, his button eyes bright and his smile stitched wide with joy. Now he was the color of dust, blending into the forgotten corners of the attic, his once vibrant coat dulled by time and neglect. He sat in a forgotten attic, one button eye dangling by a thread, the other gazing out into the dim light as if searching for something lost long ago. Sunlight made golden lines in the dusty air, and Barnaby watched the motes dance, his only company in the stillness. Each day the beams would shift, painting new patterns on the floor, but Barnaby remained, quietly observing. He remembered Lily, the little girl who once held him tight and whispered secrets into his fuzzy ear. Her laughter had filled the room, and her love had made him feel special, cherished above all other toys. But Lily grew up, and Barnaby was left behind. Waiting in silence as the world outside changed, the attic became his home, filled with shadows and memories. The attic was full of memories. A rocking horse missing its tail, a dollhouse with empty windows, and boxes stacked high with forgotten treasures. Barnaby was just another forgotten story, tucked away among relics of childhood dreams. Sometimes laughter and footsteps drifted up from below, reminding him of the world that moved on without him. He listened, hoping to hear a familiar voice, but it was always just echoes of the past. He wondered if anyone remembered the love he once held, or the comfort he had given on stormy nights. The silence pressed in, but Barnaby clung to the memory of Lily's love, holding it close like a secret treasure. He waited, hoping for a new story, for the day when someone might open the attic door and find him once more. He was a small bear in a very large, quiet room, surrounded by the gentle hush of memories. But hope, even in dust, can linger, and Barnaby's heart, though stuffed with cotton, still dreamed of being loved again. Today, Barnaby heard voices downstairs. July 14th, Leo's birthday. A new child in the house meant a new chance. Hope flickered in Barnaby's sawdust heart. He remembered Lily's joy when she first found him. Maybe Leo would see him and feel the same. But Barnaby was old and dusty, no match for new toys with lights and sounds. Still, hope grew stronger, pushing away loneliness. He couldn't just sit in the attic forever. He had to try, one last adventure. The attic stairs looked impossible, but hope made him brave. For Lily, for himself, and for the chance of new love, Barnaby decided to act. He wiggled his worn paws, feeling a new strength. Today, he would be a bear on a mission. Barnaby's plan was simple, yet utterly terrifying. He'd never tried anything like this before, and the thought of what could go wrong made his little heart thump in his chest. But he knew he had to try. He shuffled across the attic, his paws brushing against the dusty floorboards, past the silent rocking horse and stacks of ancient magazines that whispered stories of years gone by. Each inch forward was a victory, a tiny triumph over his fear, as he moved toward the faint sounds of laughter and life drifting up from below. At the top of the stairs, he paused, his button eyes wide as he spotted the colorful birthday banner, "Happy Birthday Leo," fluttering gently in the draft. But the stairs before him looked impossibly steep, a mountain he couldn't possibly climb down with his short stubby legs. Then, as if by magic, he spotted a bright red wool scarf draped over the railing, its end dangling just within reach. An idea sparked in his mind. Maybe, just maybe, he could use the scarf as a rope and slide down to the party below. Barnaby crawled to the railing, his paws trembling with excitement and nerves, and grabbed the scarf, holding on as tightly as he could. He paused for a moment, taking a deep breath, filling his nose with the scent of dust and hope, and gathered his courage. With all the bravery he could muster, he let go of the attic floor, trusting the scarf to carry him safely down. Down he slid, the scarf whizzing through his paws, beginning his great descent toward the world below. The world rushed past in a blur of wood and wool, the attic fading away as he sped toward the promise of celebration and friendship. He landed softly on the hallway carpet. Barnaby had made it, his heart swelling with pride and relief, ready to join the party at last. Out of the attic, Barnaby was in a world of cake, laughter, and running feet. He crept along the wall, peeking into the living room filled with balloons and children. Leo, wearing a paper crown, opened a shiny red robot. Everyone cheered. Barnaby's hope wavered. How could he compete with new toys? Just then the family dog Snowflake found him. She sniffed, then gently picked him up in her mouth. Barnaby froze, but Snowflake wasn't rough. She carried him into the living room. Suddenly Barnaby was at the center of the party, right at Leo's feet. All eyes turned to the old bear. For a moment everything was still. This was his chance. Snowflake, the family's gentle white cat, padded softly across the living room and dropped Barnaby at Leo's feet, as if she knew the old bear was meant for him. Leo paused his game with the shiny robot, curiosity lighting up his eyes. He set the robot aside, drawn to the bear's faded fur and friendly face, and picked up the old bear with both hands. He studied Barnaby's worn fur, the patches that told stories of years gone by, and the loose button eye that seemed to wink at him with secret memories. "Who is this?" Leo asked, his voice full of wonder, as he looked up at his mother, hoping for a story. His mother smiled, her eyes shining with nostalgia. "That was my bear when I was little. His name is Barnaby." For a moment, Lily, now a mother, was a little girl again, hugging Barnaby close, remembering all the adventures they'd shared. Warmth filled Barnaby's heart. He hadn't been forgotten after all. The love he once knew was still alive, now shining in a new generation. Leo hugged Barnaby gently, feeling the softness of his fur. "He needs a new eye, and a bath," he declared, determined to care for his new friend and make him whole again. Barnaby stayed nestled in Leo's lap as presents were opened, the shiny robot forgotten for now. The old bear had become the center of Leo's world, even among the excitement of new toys. That night, Barnaby slept in Leo's bed, clean and mended, his new button eye shining in the moonlight. He felt safe and loved, wrapped in the warmth of a child's embrace. He was no longer a forgotten thing but a bridge between mother and son, a cherished link connecting past and present, memory and hope. Barnaby had found his place in the heart of the family, surrounded by laughter, love, and gentle hands that promised he would never be alone again. And for Barnaby, it was the best feeling in the world, a feeling of belonging, of being truly home at last.